If I receive within my heart,
Don't leave it, don't talk to me.
go ahead and free yourself.
When I see you, when I see you,
I never got over you. Have you ever need someone so bad? Got the
Fantasia, you took a fistful of aspirin and went in the closet in your bedroom? Did you think about your daughter?
I wasn't really thinking about anybody. The part about it is nobody knows how heavy it gets.
Fantasia's voice?
And we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything twice.
It was nothing short of beautiful. From the moment she opened her mouth, you knew you were hearing something special, raw, powerful, and unlike anything else. But her life? That's a whole different story.
going right.
It's straight up captivating. We're talking about a ride full of highs, lows, and twists that could rival any drama you've seen on screen. From winning hearts with her powerhouse vocals to stirring up messes that had everyone's jaws on the floor,
I was tired of people doing me wrong, constantly, over and over and over again. Dealing with my family, dealing with my father, dealing with men and their bull. I remember waking up in the hospital. It didn't work. I'm still here in this hellhole, still here with all the drama going on.
her journey has been anything but boring. She's been through it all, triumphs, scandals, heartbreak, and a whole lot of redemption. So let's get into it because trust me, there's a whole lot of drama packed into this woman's story. In 2010, Fantasia found herself at the center of a scandal that was so messy, even the tabloids couldn't get enough. This wasn't just your average love triangle. Oh no. It was a full-blown disaster, the kind of drama people can't look away from. The main player, Antoine Cook, a married man with a wife.
So there's a rumor on the internet that you are now dating a married man who has 4 kids and he's from your area, a real estate agent that you supposedly have met in the T-Mobile store. Is this true?
I did meet him in the T-Mobile store. He doesn't have 4 kids, he has 2 kids.
Paula Cook, who wasn't about to let Fantasia waltz off into the sunset with her man. Paula came out swinging, filing lawsuits, and airing all their dirty laundry for the world to see. The core of the firestorm? Paula's claim that Fantasia had knowingly pursued a married man. Paula didn't just accuse her of having an affair, she practically painted her as a homewrecker who wasn't even trying to hide it.
He said, no, I did not break up his home. He's just a friend.
Paula went so far as to threaten to use North Carolina's rare alienation of affection law, a legal move that allows a spouse to sue a third party for causing the collapse of their marriage. Paula didn't mince words. She said Fantasia not only carried on this affair, but also flaunted it like it was some sort of public service, dining out and partying in plain sight. But of course, Fantasia had her own version of the story. She insisted that Antoine had sold her a bill of goods, convincing her that his marriage was a thing of the past. When I met him, he was living like a single man.
I don't know if his home, what happened in his home, but he's been not with his wife.
She claimed in her testimony. But as the courtroom drama unfolded, the details were jaw-dropping. Think secret hotel meetups and steamy late-night rendezvous. The pressure of it all was more than she could handle. As her personal life became tabloid fodder, her mental health took a nosedive. The relentless scrutiny pushed her to a dark place, and she attempted to unalive herself, a moment that rocked both her family and her fans. I was in a place where I felt like I couldn't win, she later revealed.
I think I was just overloaded with everything, with carrying 6 years of so much. You know, I always take a licking and keep on ticking. You know, everybody feels like I'm so strong. She's tough. She's got it. She's got it. It just became heavy for me, and to the point where I just wanted to be away from the noise.
Swallowing a bottle of pills in desperation, she woke up in the hospital surrounded by concerned loved ones. I woke up thinking, why am I still here? She confessed. In that moment, it felt like the world was crashing down.
Fantasia, you took a fistful of aspirin and went in the closet in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Did you think about your daughter?
I wasn't really thinking about anybody. The part about it is nobody knows how heavy it gets.
That period, it was her rock bottom. Fantasia would later describe that moment as the ultimate wake-up call, forcing her to face the choices that had led her into the chaos. But back then, with her name splashed across every tabloid and her personal life dissected by people who didn't know her, it felt like she might never crawl out from under the weight of the mess. Her music career was pushed aside as the drama overshadowed everything. That love triangle, it became a cautionary tale, a reminder of how quickly fame can turn into a nightmare. Fantasia eventually moved on from Antoine, but the emotional and reputational damage lingered. Though she eventually rebuilt her life and career, that chapter remains one of the darkest and most chaotic moments in her journey, one she barely made it through. Before the drama, the headlines, and all the scandalous mess, there was Fantasia Barrino, an undiscovered singer with a voice that could move mountains. Born on June 30th, 1984, in High Point, North Carolina, she came into this world ready to make some noise. Growing up in a deeply religious family where Sunday service was the highlight and music was second only to faith,
Education wasn't big in our home. Singing was. Get the song right.
she quickly became the star of the show. By the time she was just 5 years old, she was already bringing the house down at church with a voice that had everyone on their feet. Churchgoers weren't just impressed.
Sometimes I have to say thank you.
They were shook, saying her voice had the power to shake the heavens. But while she was making waves in the pulpit, the classroom was a different story.
When she left high school, I was crushed because, again, I said, this is something that happened to me. I didn't graduate. I left school. This is just taking turn for the worse. It's like I saw her life going downhill, and I'm thinking, this is not what I want.
Fantasia would later say it was about church and singing. So while her singing was on point, academics, not so much. With little focus on education, she wasn't exactly the poster child for good grades.
I got in trouble for education, so it wasn't something that I focused on. So I lacked in a lot of different areas.
But hey, when you've got a voice like hers, who needs a report card, right? Still, it wasn't all peaches and cream. While the church loved her, school was a whole different beast. Fantasia was bullied. Yes, bullied.
All the time I would be teased for my lips because my lips were the biggest thing on my body. I was a skinny little old girl.
One day I asked her, why are you being sad? And she said, because the children at school picks at me. And they saying, your lips, you got big lips. I said, well, don't be sad about it. Just tell them that everybody's lips can't be the same.
My mother and my grandmother used to always say, your lips are big because you're a singer. Thank God for that. And you sing beautifully. But when you're that young, the way mom and grandma seen it, it really wasn't, I didn't see it that way. I just knew that I was being picked on.
She would cry and say, I don't look like them, and I'm not pretty, And I would tell her, you are beautiful, and God has gifted you, and you just got to take what he's given you and work with it.
Her voice, though, was her strength, her rock. And in the midst of all that negativity, Fantasia held on tight to it. She didn't let the haters win. Instead, those years of hardship fueled her resilience and gave her the drive to push forward. Between the love and adoration she felt at church and the cold reception she got at school, she came to realize something powerful. Her voice wasn't just a talent, it was her ticket out. Those early battles and breakthroughs were the stepping stones that set her up for the stardom that was waiting just around the corner. All she had to do was go back to the church and trust she was ready.
I wanted to fit in, and I wanted to be loved, and I felt like the streets was gonna give it to me. My mother didn't want to see me go down the path she went down. She wanted me to break that generational curse. She saw what was about to happen, but I didn't want to hear that. At that time, I wanted different. I didn't want to be special, not have that responsibility on my life of blessing people and living up to people's expectations. I just gave up. When I was in the streets, though, I was like, yo, something don't feel right. If I don't stay connected to the church, it might get me. Me staying connected to the church was my only hope of feeling like I wasn't going to die out of timing.
Fantasia's early years were nothing short of a roller coaster ride, and let's just say it wasn't all smooth sailing. At just 7 or 8 years old, she was blindsided by a betrayal that would haunt her for years. It was a trust-shattering moment that left deep emotional scars. Imagine being by someone you thought had your back.
At a young age.
How young were you?
Probably about 7, 8.
Yeah, that kind of pain stays with you. It sent her down a path of insecurity and distrust that would color much of her adolescent years. As she got older, things didn't get any easier. School, instead of offering an escape, became another battleground. With her bold personality and unique style, she wasn't exactly blending in with the crowd. Kids can be cruel, and Fantasia definitely wasn't spared from their hurtful teasing. By the time high school came around, it was clear this wasn't her scene. Overwhelmed and unsupported, she made the tough choice to drop out. School wasn't her sanctuary, and leaving it behind felt like one less thing to hold her back, though it didn't exactly solve all her problems. With no school to ground her, Fantasia dove headfirst into the party scene.
My father and I had a lot of arguments about it because he began to say, well, she can go and get discovered and make it big. And as a matter of fact, he had met some people that hooked her up with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And she went to Minnesota. She did some demos. And she came home. She said, Ma, guess who I met? I said, who? She said, I met Janet Jackson. I said, are you kidding? She ended up back home. And I'm saying, the child needs to be in school. And he says, well, they said they're going to get her a tutorer. And this, that, and the third. I said, she needs to be in school. So my house was like really in a turmoil right there because I wanted her in school and her dad was seeing celebrityism already. You know, it's like she could be a celebrity someday.
Searching for validation in all the wrong places, she partied hard, fought even harder, and filled the holes in her heart with the chaos around her.
So I felt like, well, bump it all. Bump school, bump singing. I'm just gonna hang out in the streets with my friends, club, drink, smoke, party, you know? And that's what I started doing.
Relationships were messy, too, seeking love and acceptance from people who didn't always have her best interests at heart.
Just everything that was the right thing to do, she wanted to do the wrong.
And I started seeking attention from the wrong guys, dressing the way I never would dress. 9th grade, that was it for me.
But let's be real. When you're young, hurting, and searching for something to hold on to, you make some questionable choices. Then, at just 17, life threw her yet another curveball. She found out she was pregnant with her daughter Zion. Talk about a game changer. The pregnancy wasn't planned, and suddenly, Fantasia was facing the reality of single motherhood.
You talked about the fact that you didn't want her to make the same mistakes that you made.
Well, you know, I was a young teenage mother. I wanted different for her. She became a teenage mother as well. So I thought, oh no, like, it's like you said, I saw myself like, this is me again, all over again. She's gonna become a mother and then she's not gonna do the things that she's been predestined to do. She's gonna go down the wrong road. So it was tough for me when she got pregnant at a teen age because I thought, oh no, this is happening all over again, like a generational curse type thing.
With no one to lean on, she was juggling welfare checks and food stamps, scraping by in a world that didn't seem to care. But as hard as it was, Zion's birth became the wake-up call she needed. It didn't magically fix everything, but it gave her a new reason to keep fighting. This chapter in her life was full of struggle, heartbreak, and tough lessons learned the hard way, but it also laid the groundwork for everything that would come next. Zion became her strength, her drive, and her reason to rise above.
I want the right thing. I want something that's going to stand, especially when you have a daughter that's 9. She's watching everything. She's watching everything that I do. I want something that's going to stand, somebody that I can know loves me for me, who can handle me being me.
She wasn't just fighting for survival anymore. She was fighting for a future. And that, my friends, was the beginning of Fantasia's journey to the top. And then, boom, American Idol happened.
Are you excited to be here?
I'm very excited.
Yeah?
I'm very, very excited.
Why are you excited?
Because I've been singing for a long time now. Like I said, I'm not going to stop if this doesn't work, but I'm determined, so this is going to work. Ain't it right, Simon?
All right. You ready?
Yes.
What do you sing?
Killing Me Softly by Lauryn Hill.
In 2004, with only $50 to her name, Fantasia packed up and drove herself to Atlanta to audition, not knowing that this was the moment her life was about to change forever. The girl stepped onto that stage and let loose. Her voice was raw, powerful, and unlike anything the show had ever seen. She didn't just sing, she commanded at the stage.
Singing my life with his word.
When she belted out I Believe during the final,
I believe in the impossible if I reach deep within my heart.
it wasn't just a song, it was her story, every note dripping with everything she'd been through. At 19, she walked away as the third winner of American Idol.
The winner of American Idol 2004 is Fantasia Barrino.
And just like that, her world flipped upside down. But make no mistake, Fantasia didn't just win American Idol, she owned it. Her debut album, Free Yourself, went platinum faster than you can say next.
Then don't talk to me. Then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself.
And with hits like Truth Is,
Say, I never got over you.
and When I See You, she had the whole world singing her anthems.
I see you.
The girl wasn't playing, she was taking over, and that was just the start. She followed up with a sophomore album that kept her name in heavy rotation, and as if that wasn't enough, she gave us the memoir, Life is Not a Fairy Tale. Of course, that turned into a Lifetime movie, starring none other than the woman herself.
It ain't gonna make no difference.
Fantasia, you leave now. You are running away from your future and running towards disaster.
Fantasia wasn't just a reality show winner. She was a full-blown superstar, and everyone knew it. When Broadway came knocking, Fantasia didn't just show up, she slayed. Taking on the role of C. Lee into The Color Purple was more than just a part for her. It was a full-circle moment.
I'm gonna hold my head up. I'm gonna put.
She wasn't acting. She was living. Fantasia poured every drop of her own pain and triumph into Celie.
Everybody can relate because we've all been through some things. And for me, I tap into my grandmother when I sung it on set.
You were thinking about your grandmother?
Yeah, strong Black woman. She's not with us today, but I know she's watching. So I tap into her, I sing it for her. I know what she went through. I know her story. So I sing it for every Black woman who's been through something, who's been told that they're nothing, there will never be nothing, that they're ugly because of the color of their skin. I'm singing it for them. And I want them to walk out of the theater, and I want them to know that they are queens. And if it had not been for the women who came before us and paved the way, we wouldn't be here today. Thank you. And I want all the young women to know you can do this. You're beautiful just the way God made you. No matter what a man says, no matter what you've been through, that is your testimony. Use it. Don't let it break you. Use it.
And it was clear to everyone in the audience. She didn't just sing those powerful songs, she felt them. The raw emotion she brought to the stage was undeniable, leaving people in tears night after night. I live Celie's life, she said. And when she belted out, I'm beautiful, and I'm here, it wasn't just lyrics. It was Fantasia's soul singing right along with Celie's. It was a performance that reminded everyone that some voices don't just fill a theater, they command it. But the fame came with more drama. Fantasia's father sued her for $10 million, claiming defamation in her memoir. Financial troubles also surfaced, with reports of unpaid taxes and nearly losing her home to foreclosure. Fantasia is no stranger to comebacks.
That you see, they look like they have it. And we smile and we come out and we put on a good show. But in real life, some of them are struggling. And we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything twice. So I cook my own food. I go get my own groceries. I don't have a driver. I drive my own car. You know, that is fake. I don't want that life, or else I quit. I don't want it. It's already a lot out here in the industry. I don't want that life. I'm just like you, sis. God gave you a gift and a talent, and you can't always give it for free. Yeah. So I bless them for blessing me, you know. But no, I cook my own food. I think you can do it yourself. And yeah, it's not that for me. And I don't want it to be that for me. If I had the money to do it, I still wouldn't do it.
And her marriage to Kendall Taylor in 2015 marked a turning point. With Kendall by her side, she found stability and love, something she hadn't known before.
And we had went on a date, and I was getting ready to go out on the road. I was saying bye to him, and he looks at me and says, well, before you go, can I cover you?
And so what I did is I came in and I just knelt between her legs. And so she just kind of sat back like, yo, like, where's this party going? And that's when I was like, nah. I want to cover you in prayer, if you allow me to cover you in prayer. And she just kind of looked at me.
And he falls to his knees. He reaches over and he gets his oil. He takes my hands and he prays for me that God protects me while I was going out on the road. Let no hurt, harm, or danger come upon her. Bless her band and everybody. I mean, just praying. And I'm standing here like,
And as I'm praying, I feel water hitting on my head, on my bald head. And that's when I realized she was crying. I mean, she was leaking. And she just crying and crying and crying. And then I got done praying and I came up and I kissed her. That was it. At that moment, I knew I wasn't gonna let her go.
And that's all I wanted, was for somebody to cover me. I've been wide open.
The couple's faith has become a cornerstone of their life, and Fantasia often credits him with helping her rebuild. In 2023, Fantasia reprised her role as Celie in The Color Purple movie musical, a testament to her enduring talent. Everything I went through, every tear, every struggle, prepared me for this role, she said.
It's time I be free from you and enter to creation.
Today, Fantasia's net worth is estimated at $1 million, modest by industry standards, but reflective of her resilience. She'll always be remembered for her electrifying voice, her raw authenticity, and her ability to rise, fall, and rise again. Whether it's her groundbreaking performances or her headline-grabbing personal life, one thing is certain: Fantasia's story is unforgettable.